Since the year 2016, I have shared so much when it comes to this topic, twin flames, when it comes to my personal experiences and my personal journey. And after writing so many answers and after interacting with so many people who have been going through this particular experience, there is only one very, very prominent and frequently asked question I have come across, and that is this person really my twin flame? Most of the people who are going through a certain experience and kind of doubting whether they are really going through a twin flame experience come to this label called twin flame and start wondering whether whatever they are going through is really a twin flame experience or not. It is very, very natural to come to this juncture where you are utterly confused whether you are actually going through a twin flame experience, whether you yourself are a twin flame in the first place or not, and whether you have got somebody as your twin flame and this particular supposed person is your twin flame or not. It's a very, very profound process to come to a certain knowing or a certain understanding if you are really going through a twin flame experience. And while going through this process, thousands of times you will enter in a doubt, and thousands of times you will overcome that doubt. So, coming to this inner knowing whether you are a twin flame and if somebody is your twin flame or not is a profound internal, spiritual, personal process. It's an internal journey and it definitely does take a lot of time. I have also made a separate video when it comes to validating a twin flame connection. So anybody who wants to know more about the process of validating your twin flame connection, you can watch my video. However, in today's video, I am going to discuss about is it really necessary to cling on this label called twin flames? And does it really hinder your progress? Or does it really hinder your path if you get attached to this label twin flames? So welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnya, and let's start this video and understand what are the pros and cons about attaching yourself with the label twin flames. Before I begin, I want to urge all those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon. All those who want to have a one-on-one private sessions with me, I have given all the links regarding private sessions in the description of this video. You can also follow me on my Instagram, or you can follow me on my Facebook group. You can also follow me on the website called Quora, where I have answered more than 5,000 questions related to twin flames and spiritual ascension. So let's start today's video. So when it comes to this basic label, which is called twin flames, this term was first coined by one spiritual leader, spiritual author called Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And she wrote a book on soulmates and twin flames in 1999. I guess that was the first time when this term was coined and people started knowing about this term, or people started knowing about the phenomena of twin flame experience. So it is very important for all of us to understand that it is just a term. She coined this term to explain a certain thing. That does not mean that twin flames did not exist before that. Twin flame phenomena, I feel, has been existing across all the religions and all the cultures all the time. I have also come across certain people who have also asked me that twin flame and the twin flame experience seems to be a new age belief system, a new age phenomena. But we don't see it in our culture. We don't see it in other religions. But that is not true. The twin flame experience and the twin flame phenomena, I feel, has been existing since many years. But the reason why I want to point out this particular author, because she was the one who coined this term in the first place, and she coined it to explain a certain experience. So the other cultures and religions might be using some different terminology to describe the similar experience, which is definitely bigger than the label. That is why I feel that there is no need for anybody to get too attached to the label twin flames as far as you understand what is the phenomena behind it. If you understand the experience and the phenomena, you would be able to detach yourself. However, all of you would agree with me that these days, fortunately or unfortunately, the term twin flame has become like a buzzword. It's become like kind of a trend, and everybody standing next to you is getting fascinated by that word, and everybody has started feeling that they have found their twin flame. And because of this fascination which people are getting into, there is so much of authentic and unauthentic information floating on the internet that it's become really, really difficult to seek what's real and what's not real, what is genuine and what is not genuine. And because of such things happening, it has really, really become absolutely necessary to be mindful about what you are reading and what you are believing in. So to start with, I definitely want to put forward certain very, very important points for those people who have newly started associating themselves as a twin flame and they are trying to figure out certain information on the internet about this topic. The first and foremost thing is that your experience comes first. Because as we start associating ourselves as a twin flame and as we start reading certain information about this topic or watching a lot of videos about twin flames, somewhere consciously or subconsciously we start forming a certain belief system that if I'm a twin flame, I'm supposed to experience a certain thing and I'm not supposed to experience a certain thing. And somewhere knowingly or unknowingly, you start molding your experience according to what you have already read. I would definitely like to give an example for this. There are people who ask questions like, I am with my twin flame, but I am not yet separated from them. So am I supposed to separate from my twin flame? Now, why this question is coming? Because they have read somewhere that twin flames separate. So they are kind of consciously or unconsciously looking forward to that separation. That if I'm a twin flame, then some or the other day I'm going to separate from my twin flame. Or some people would ask, am I supposed to awaken spiritually because I don't feel any sort of awakening in my heart? So how do I awaken myself? How do I activate my kundalini? So whatever they are experiencing in their real life may not be really matching with what they have read. And because it is not matching with what they have read, they are trying to mold their experience according to their reading or according to what they have formed as their belief system. And I feel that it is a big, big, big gray area. It is a big no-no because you are not here to read something and then mold your experience accordingly. Your experience, whatever is unfolding in your life, is your core genuine experience, which is 100% true. After you live that experience, you are going to put some sort of a label to it, or you might choose not to put any label to it. So the bottom line is your experience comes first. Second thing is what you label that experience is secondary. I want to give an example over here. There are two bottles of a fruit jam. Somebody has made a nice fruit jam and they have put that jam into two bottles. One bottle is having a label. Another bottle is not having a label. Now, both the bottles are having the same content, which is the fruit jam. So, is not having the label on a bottle going to change the content of that bottle? I don't think so. Is it going to change the taste of the jam which is there in that bottle? I don't think so. So, what is the most important thing over here is that the content of both the bottles is the same, whether you label that bottle or whether you don't label that bottle. It does not matter. So, whatever experience you are going through is the most authentic. If you put a label of being a twin flame, or you don't put a label to it, or you call it a tomato experience, potato experience, or mango experience, it doesn't really matter. And I definitely want to ask a very important question to all those who are going through this certain dilemma, that are you going through this particular experience or are you going through this particular pain in your life only because you feel that this person is your twin flame? or you are going through this experience in your life and going through this pain because you hold a lot of love for this person in your heart. Because the answer to this question is going to give you a lot of clarity. If you are going and carrying on with this painful experience only because you are buying into some idea, which is twin flames, some concept which is called twin flames, and you feel this person is your twin flame and that's why you can't leave them and you have to pursue them or whatever it is, you might be diverting yourself on some different path than your true soul path, which actually is not unfolding because you're diverting yourself. But the answer of your question is that I am following my experience, I am following what my heart tells me, and I'm pursuing this particular connection because I do love this person from the bottom of my heart, irrespective of whether you put this label twin flame to this experience or not. If your answer to this question is this, I would say that you are going on a right track. Because I believe that if you are on this journey, which is a spiritual journey, you will be perfectly guided on this journey, irrespective of you knowing this label or not, irrespective of you believing in this label or not. I can give you my own example. When I met my twin flame, it was the year 1990. And that time there was no term called twin flames. There was no internet. There was nobody talking about this phenomena. There was no social media over there. So there was no way for me to come to know about this term. I was not awakened. So I went through this experience of encountering my twin flame, going through a certain unfolding in my life. And for 21 years, I was not knowing this term twin flames. I came to know about this term twin flames in 2011. And I started connecting the dots backwards. And somehow I was like, okay, whatever I'm reading about twin flames is kind of perfectly fitting with my experience. Even after that, it took me 2.5 years to come to this knowing, after going through a lot of doubt and validation and revalidation phase, that yes, this person is indeed my twin flame. Because I have gone through this certain experience without knowing this term twin flame, I can very confidently say that whatever I was going through in my life, I was perfectly guided on my journey, even without the label. And sometimes I feel that it was really a blessing that I was not knowing that term twin flames, because whatever unfolded in my life, I was not having any bias or any sort of a doubt or if and but about what exactly I am doing and why I am doing. I was simply following my heart. I was simply following that feeling of love, and whatever that feeling of love was prompting me to do, I was just following that inner urge of mine, which took me to my next step in the journey. And because I was led so perfectly in my journey, even without knowing that term, I can say this with utmost confidence that knowing the label twin flames or believing in the term twin flames or validating the term twin flames is not necessary. Even if you are not really associating yourself with that term, and if you are on this journey, you are going to be perfectly guided on your soul path. Many people are also very much worried about this fact that their twin flame does not know anything about the term twin flames and he is not somebody who will believe it. So they are getting anxious that their twin flame might not really agree with this concept and they will not really progress on their spiritual path. But this is also an indication that you are getting too over attached with this twin flame label. Whether you know about the term twin flames or you don't know about the term twin flames, it is definitely not going to affect your journey in a negative way, because your twin flames spirit guides are perfectly guiding your twin flame even when they don't know the term twin flames. And it may happen that the matrix twin, who is not chosen to be spiritually aware of this connection, will never ever come to know about the label twin flame. However, they are perfectly guided and they are perfectly walking through this journey along with you on their paths. So when it comes to this most important question, that coming to know about this term twin flames, is it really hindering your progress? Yes or no? And my answer would be yes as well as no. So the first reason why I feel that it can hinder your progress is that the moment you start associating yourself as a twin flame, somehow you start expecting certain things in your journey, that, oh, I know what twin flames are supposed to experience. So if the other person experienced something like this, then I also need to experience something like this. Other person is experiencing a bubble phase, I also need to experience a bubble phase. That twin flame person came back, my twin flame also needs to come back. So there is a lot of expectation getting created, and you are not able to view your journey as a stand alone experience. And somewhere that can be a little disadvantageous, because your focus kind of gets diverted into comparison and unnecessary expectation, and that's a downside. Another a very big disadvantage of coming to know these labels is that you start dissecting everything in your life according to the labels. If people like us are on our spiritual journey, we are supposed to walk towards the oneness of humanity and not the dissection of different categories. If you observe in the spiritual community, so many people are discussing about twin flames, soulmate, karmic partners. And we also see that so many people are putting down the other category of relationships. Like soulmates is not supposed to be as great as twin flames. Karmic partner is like absolutely looked down upon. That somebody who just has a karmic clearance with you. So they are toxic, they are negative. So there is so much dissection happening when it comes to putting these labels onto people. And I feel that it is a great hindrance, because if you are on a spiritual journey, you need to start to have a respect and empathy for all your connections, for all the relationships you have. And I don't think we need to really put certain labels onto certain people and put them in some sort of a hierarchical order, that twin flame gets a golden crown and soulmate is standing below that, and karmic partner doesn't even have a place to stand. We are definitely not here to do such things, but unfortunately we observe that people are getting into such comparisons. And I feel that if as human beings we were supposed to know about what is the soul connection to a certain person, we would not forget our true soul identities. Since we were born, we would know who is our soulmate and who is our karmic partner. The reason why we don't know it, because we are supposed to learn certain things by forgetting these labels. So there is no point in getting too much into these labels and starting to attach these labels to different relationships and starting to dissect certain people and their behaviors and judging them by putting these labels onto them. And this is a real gray area, and this is the kind of disadvantage when you start getting too much into this label twin flames and the whole pack of different labels like karmic partner and soulmate and stuff like that. Then another disadvantage is that knowing that you are a twin flame can also start putting some sort of a burden on your heart, that, oh my God, I was not ready for something like this. I was just in love with somebody, and what is this? Like, I was not expecting that this was some sort of a spiritual journey. And there are certain things which are not really resonating with you. And somewhere you start being pressured that, oh, I was not looking for this. What is this all about? And somewhere there is some sort of a resistance which is getting created inside your heart. Then fourth disadvantage is that as you start associating yourself as a twin flame, you start being a part of certain forums, certain groups. You start reading about what other people are saying or writing or sharing. And somewhere it can also start diverting you from your true understanding or true learning, because you start getting into comparisons, or sometimes some people's energy will start draining you out because somebody is projecting their pain into their post, and it somehow gets affected, like it somehow gets projected to you and you start getting affected by somebody else's journey. And there are also a lot of people who are not really on the spiritual journey, who are pretty much skeptics, and they are also putting in their opinions on twin flame forums. So such energies also start hindering in your vibration or whatever process you are going through, and it is kind of a negative effect on you. And last but not the least, you start absolutely draining your energies, time, and effort in validating if you are really on a twin flame journey, if this person is really your twin flame. Now, coming to the positive points, that knowing the term twin flame, does it really hinder your progress? And if we consider the answer as no, what are the pros? What are the positive effects? I personally believe that anybody who is really a twin flame, the term twin flames will get introduced to them at a right divine time. You really need to be ready to hear that term or come to terms with it. It took me 21 years to come to know that term twin flame. But if I look back, I feel that I really came to know about that term at a right time, because till that time, probably I was just having my pre-awakening phase, or I was awakening, but I was not really ready to take the intense part of this journey. And when I was actually on the verge to activate my next intense chunk of my journey, I came to know about that term twin flame. So when you come to know about this term is not random. There is definitely a reason why you did not know earlier and why you know now. I have seen so many people coming to know about this term in a very amazing ways. Somebody is seeing this term in the dreams, or somebody's guides are telling this term in their thoughts. Somebody is just reading about it. Somebody is just coming across that term through a video. So there are different ways through which people have come to know about this term twin flame, even when they were not looking for that term, even when they did not have any clue that this sort of a term exists. However, I definitely want to put this disclaimer that there is also a certain category of people who are reading about twin flames and getting fascinated about that term, and then they start finding their twin flame. If you are a twin flame, you would naturally come to know this term, and most probably you would have already come across that particular person. You might be already going through a certain experience in your life to which you are wanting some answer, and that is the time when this term will pop up into your awareness somewhere. Second positive reason is that somewhere it also gives you some sort of a solace, that okay, I'm not any sort of an insane person. Whatever I'm going through is definitely experienced by others also. So it is not random, it is not crazy, and there seems to be some sort of a structure to it. There seems to be some sort of a destination to what I'm going through. So somewhere it helps you to start putting all the pieces of your puzzle together and make sense out of it. Third thing is you also start finding out some sort of a roadmap, that okay, I am at this particular juncture, so there is something to look forward to. Because if you are not having any sort of a roadmap or a mind map, you would start feeling lost, and you would know what to do, whom to look up to. But somehow knowing that you are a twin flame gives you some sense of purpose, some sense of direction. And fourth positive thing is that if you really look at twin flame collective in a positive way, you can start finding a lot of support from the collective. That the way it can also affect you negatively, it could also affect you very positively. That you can look at somebody else and get inspiration from them. You can learn from somebody else who has already experienced what you experienced. So there is also a positive side to twin flame collective. And once you know the term twin flames, it's easier for you to connect to the positive energy of the collective. However, there is a very thin line between these pros and the cons when it comes to knowing the term twin flame. And because of that, it's very important for you to be absolutely mindful that where you actually stand in terms of forming your belief system or getting attached to that label, twin flames. And I'm sure that every person who is going through spiritual journey of being a twin flame, there will be a juncture in their life where they start getting too attached to the label. After that, if they are really following their paths, they also start coming out from the need to associate themselves as a twin flame, and they somehow start detaching themselves from the label. So it doesn't really matter to them whether they are really calling themselves a twin flame or not. What they believe in is just their experience, and they are very, very serious spiritual seekers. And they know in their heart that yes, there is this connection with this person. You call it a twin flame, tomato, potato, or a spiritual partner or divine counterpart, whatever terminology you use, but they have understood the essence of it, they have understood the purpose of it, and they are carrying that essence and purpose in their heart. So it's very important to reach to that stage where you are not really caught up in all these labels and looking at your journey through the filter of those labels. If you reach that state, this journey would become really, really amazing for you, because at that stage, you really, really become a true, genuine spiritual seeker. And being a twin flame or not being a twin flame or using that label does not really hold a lot of importance to you. So I hope this video helps all those who are somehow putting in a lot of energy in this label twin flames. And I hope that they are able to detach themselves from this label as soon as possible and really get on the real journey. So this is all for today. See you in the next video.